Hello all, how are you doing? This is Ashwin again. So in this video tutorial we are going to understand what inheritance is and how to implement inheritance in Python 3. So as we know that most of the modern programming languages like C++, Java, Python and JavaScript, all these languages they have the mechanism for reusing the code. So the very good examples of code reuse in Python are the class methods as well as functions. So we all know that we just have to define the functions as well as class method only once, and then we can keep on reusing them by calling them. So there is other way we can reuse the code. So that way is associated with object oriented, the notion of object oriented programming. It is actually implemented wherever the object oriented programming comes into the picture. So that property of programming languages, or that feature in the programming languages, is known as inheritance. So most of the object oriented programming languages they predominantly feature this inheritance. So there are various ways the inheritance feature is implemented in programming languages. So the most common way of implementing inheritance is class based inheritance. So let us try to understand first what the class based inheritance is. So now if you can have a look at this image, so here we can see that there are two classes. There is class A and the class B. So the class A has got members var1, var2, var3, and the behaviors of class 1 are method 1 as well as method 2. So we have got attributes as well as behaviors for the class A. So now whenever we are going to say that we are going to inherit class B from class A, or we are going to extend class B from class A, then all these the attributes of class A, that is var1, var2 and var3, as well as the behaviors of the class A, that is method 1 and method 2, they are automatically accessible by class B. So or we can say that the class B derives all these things. It means that they also become implicitly the part of class B. So suppose you create here an object for class B. So suppose you create an object for class A, saying that, say, obj A equal to A, okay, and you create an object that obj2 equal to B. Then as we know that we can access the method 1 by obj1 method 1, okay, and also because we are deriving the class B from class A, we are also able to access the method 1 by referring it with obj2. Okay, so in the same way we can also access the variables of variables of the class A by the objects of class B, because we are deriving the class B from class A. So now in this case the class A is known as a base class, parent class, or the superclass, and class B is known as the child class or subclass of class A. So this is what the basic concept of inheritance is. So if you are having a look at inheritance very first time, the concept might not be very intuitive for the people who are doing it very first time. So it can be better understood only by means of coding. So let's start coding with the inheritance. Okay, so let us open a new program file, okay, and let us save it. So let us save it as prog01. Okay, so let's have a simple example of inheritance. Okay, so here we are going to have a very similar example of class A and class B. Okay, so let's have a look at the code. So here we are going to have a very real life example of person as well as employee. Okay, so suppose there is a class person. Okay, it is our base class, And as of now, we are not going to have any sort of variable in the base class. Okay, so we are just going to say pass. Now we are going to derive other class from class person. So we are going to derive a class known as employee from person, because all the employees in an organizations are person mostly nowadays, because many employees are robots, but predominantly almost all the employees are in many organizations, they are persons. Okay, they are human persons mostly. So let's say class employee. Okay, so now if I want to extend class employee or inherit class employee from class person, then I have to mention like this. This is the syntax of inheritance. Okay, and as of now we are not going to have any variable in this. So now this is the very simple example of inheritance. So this is known as single level inheritance or simple inheritance in terms of object oriented programming. So now let's see by creating a main function. Okay, so let's define the main function of our program. So let's say def main. As of now we are not going to say have anything in this also. Okay, so let's say def let's say if underscore name equal to main. Okay, and let's call the main function here, and now we are free to write the code of our choice in the main function. So now as I had already told you, okay, that we can access the variables of variables as well as the methods of class A by the objects of class B if we are deriving class B from class A. So let's have a look at it. So suppose we have def method 1, okay, self, okay, and we are just going to say like there are a couple of variables like self dot var1. Okay, so let's have here a comma b comma c. Okay, and we are also going to have we are going to assign the values of ABC to the variables in the class. Okay, to equal to b. Okay, and self dot var3 equal to c. So this is a simple definition. This is a very simple method. Here we are actually accepting couple of arguments and we are assigning those arguments to the class variables. So now let's save the code, and now let's try to create an exercise. Let's try to create an object for both the classes. Okay, so I'm just going to say obj1 equal to, so the name of the class is person. Okay, so obj1 equal to person, and let's say obj2 equal to employee. So now we can call method 1 by object 1. Let's say obj1 dot method 1. Okay, and we need to pass 3 values. Let's say 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we are going to say print obj1 dot var1 comma we are going to print the same stuff again and again. Okay, so let's try to run this code again. Okay, so here we are able to get the values 1, 2 and 3. Okay, now we are gonna access the same thing with object 2. Okay, the same set of variables as well as attributes with object 2. Let's see whether it works. Okay, so in order to distinguish between two different sets of variables, so let us run this PROG01 module again and let's see the difference. Okay, so as you can see, the first the line of the output, that is 1, 2 and 3, is corresponding to the variable obj1, and the second set of the second line in the output, that is 3, 4 and 5, these are the values we have passed to the method 1 while calling it by obj2, which is nothing but the variable for class employee. But as you can see, we haven't defined we haven't actually defined the method 1 for method 1 or var1, var2 and var3 for class employee. We are able to access it with the object of employee, okay, that is obj2, only because we are deriving the class employee from class person. That's why we are able to access the set of attributes as well as behaviors from class person by the object of class employee. Of course, you might be asking why we are getting two different set of values. It is because each and every object is going to retain its own copy of copy of values for all the variables associated with that. So the objects will be different. So the object of employee is different than object of person A, but it will actually it is going to extend the set of variables as well as the set of methods by means of the property of inheritance. So that's why it is called as inheritance, because like we all know that the family wealth is inherited by someone. So whenever we are going to say that there is a father and it has got like a son, he has got a son. So when we say a son inherits the property of a father, it means that it actually inherits the various attributes like the color of eyes or the size of the nose or something like that. So all these physical features or attributes of a father are inherited by a son. So the same way we have actually the concept of inheritance here in object-oriented programming languages. So this is a very simple example of inheritance. So let's have actually another look at a more intriguing concept within the inheritance itself. Okay, so now let's open a new file. Let's write a code in new file. So let's save it. So let's save it with PROG02. So as I have already told you that inheritance is nothing but a single class is able to a class is able to derive the properties as well as the methods from the other class. So the other class is known as the base class or the parent class, and the class which is deriving or extending all the properties as well as behaviors is known as subclass or the child class. So in Python there we have a very interesting concept. So it says that all the objects in Python, all the classes in Python are implicitly derived from a base class known as object. Okay, so name of the top level class in Python, okay, is object. So all the classes, okay, whether they are user defined or they are like the defined in the Python's library, they are subclasses of a class known as object. Okay, and this inheritance is implicit. Okay, so suppose if I want to know that whether a class is subclass of other class, then I have to use a special function. Okay, so that function is known as each subclass. Okay, is subclass. Okay, so we are going to see this example now. So let's again have an example of person as well as employee. Okay, let's say class person. Okay, and let's say pass, and let's say class employee, and let's extend it from class person. And here also we are going to say pass. As of now we are not actually much concerned about the attributes as well as the behaviors of the classes, because we are going to see the use of each subclass function. Okay, so now let's define a main method, main function. Okay, and as of now let's not write anything in this, and let's say if underscore underscore name equal to main, then call the main function. So this is the standard template for our code. And now let's create an object for so there is even no need to create an object. We just need to type we just need to print the value returned by each subclass. Okay, each subclass. Now we are going to say employee, employee, comma person. So this is like akin to asking like if employee is a subclass of person. Okay, so let's so this is going to return a boolean value. So if it is employee is going to be the subclass of person, then it is going to return true. And if it is going to be the subclass, if it is not going to be subclass, if it is not the subclass of class person, then it is going to return false. Okay, so now let's save this file. Okay, and run the code, run the module. Okay, so now see, as you can see, it is returning true. Okay, so let's close the shell and let's run the code again for the sake of clarity. So see, it is returning true. So it means that so if you have a very complex code, or if you have like so many classes and you are not actually able to determine which class is subclass of which class, then this is a very handy method. You can just type in console this command, like print of each subclass and the names of the classes, and then you will be able to see whether those classes are related or not. So as I have said earlier, there is a top level class, it is known as object. Okay, so all the other classes, okay, they are subclasses of the class object. So let's see whether that statement is true or not. So we have actually a very good way of testing it. So let's say person. Okay, and let's say object, and let's run this code. So we should actually get true for all the three statements, for all the three print statements, correct? So now what this essentially means, so now let's compare the output as well as the code. What this essentially means is that employee is the class employee is subclass of class person. Okay, as well as class employee is also subclass of class objects. So this is implicit. Okay, so you do not have to mention it anywhere. And class person is also subclass of class object. Okay, so there is explicit way we can mention here. Okay, object that this is subclass of the class object. Okay, but it is not necessary anymore to mention that whether a class is subclass or subclass of object. So whenever you define any class in Python 3, so by default it is treated as a subclass of class object. Okay, so so this is the explicit way of like defining a class. An implicit way of defining a class is just like declare the class that that we have like followed till now, and we are going to just follow from now onwards the same convention also. Okay, we are not going to mention object. Only for the sake of this example, I'm just like typing object here. Let's try to run the module. So let me close the command window first. Okay, and okay, sorry, I closed the wrong window. So let me open the module. Okay, it seems that it hung. Okay. Okay, so this is program 2 that we were having a look at. Let's run the module. Okay, so now we have this thing. Okay, true, true, and true. So it means that whether we are going to mention that a class is child class of object or not, we are always going to have that class treated as the child as a child class of object. Okay, let's modify the code again and run it. Okay, the output is essentially going to be the same. We are essentially going to get the same output for that. Okay, so this is how the very simple concept of inheritance works in Python 3. So in the next tutorial, we are going to see some more complex examples of inheritance in Python 3.